We're back again with day 4 and just getting the machine set up. The block clamp that I always talk about, my favorite tool. Just getting, see how, grinding the blocks. Tommy was hitting everything with a grinder. These any block that we've ever used, they tend to have some lip on them or something that needs smoothed out. And the CMHA spec for retaining wall block is plus or minus 1/8 of an inch. So you put two of those together, one small, one big, and you're looking at a 1/4 inch gap. So that kind of that facilitates shimming or grinding. And again, grinding is the best practice. Using IQ to saw to cut. Maybe not the best thing, just kind of, I was leaving it on autopilot. But it worked. It will cut a 6-inch block. That was the big question that I had, was will it actually cut a 6-inch block? Cuts it with no problem. You do have to release the arm so you can go up above. Like raise the arm up. You see, like, he's moving the arm up and down. Grabbing more block with the clamp. You know, one person operation. In the past, we would have had to carry all of these. Putting the pipe in here. We try to put the pipe in. You're supposed to backfill as you go, every 6 to 8 inches. This particular instance, and sometimes it happens with these small walls where we can't get enough aggregates on site, where we're still using 2A and we're using 57 stone. We don't always have the ability to switch back and forth materials. We didn't have the space on it on this job, and this particular pipe was really giving me fits as far as fitting the fittings together. Everything was cold, so what I ended up doing was just going over to the generator, sitting the one of the fittings, and just let it go by the exhaust and just heat up from the exhaust. And after probably 15 seconds, it softened it up enough that it was pliable, and I was able to fit it right on. Made a huge difference. I was very frustrated on that side. It didn't take very long on the camera, but I was really fighting it. Just pin and block and trying to move the saw as close as possible. Sometimes we had to move it in and out depending on when we were backfilling. But it's nicer having the saw closer. The saw is very light. It's easy to move around, so it's not a big deal. It's nice having the saw close so you don't have to deal with I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, it happens. Oh, I guess, yeah, back to that. You carrying the block around, there's no sense carrying them all the way up the driveway, all the way back down if you don't have to. Sometimes it's easier to do that, but they weigh 86 pounds apiece. In this here, we kind of built up and then made the cuts till the end. Part of the reason for that is I'd rather make the cuts like as we go instead of doing it all at once, but I didn't want to have it filled too high to where I couldn't get behind there and put the pipe in, because once it starts getting too high, then it starts getting very difficult to install the pipe, and it's sometimes dangerous. You don't want to be stuck in a position where you're stuck between two structures. Pretty straightforward. Once you get past the upper course, there's not a whole lot. Especially like walls like this, there was a lot of step ups, and step ups slow you down tremendously, slow us down. Yeah, so who knows what we're talking about? Probably everything. yeah, just grinding the block. We spray them down to keep the dust down. It definitely it makes a huge difference. Just by spraying the block down, we have a vacuum system also, like whatever dustless or something. Like basically it's a shop vac with a grinding wheel on, and it gets cumbersome, but the water works just as well as long as you keep after it. Keep spraying it down. That's a pain in and of itself, but you're not dealing with vacuum hoses and tripping on a one or two shop vacs in a tight area like this. We'll use the shop vacs if it gets way too cold, basically too cold for water, and that's part of the reason why we try not to work in the wintertime. It just, you start getting the blocks stuck together. We've had plenty of times where the block, they're just frozen because they all have a little bit of moisture just from sitting around, even when they're covered up in plastic. And sometimes you got to whack them with a hammer just to separate them, and then you set them on the wall and they want to just go sliding because there's a little bit of ice on that, and just other considerations for working in inclement weather. I guess I went, yeah, this is when I grabbed the load of 57 stone. It's crazy for not being too far out of Pittsburgh. Some of these roads, these back roads that I was going on just to go to this place was crazy. I'm like, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a quad up these roads. Let's see how much. Man, we still got a lot more to go. And Tommy set all the caps on the wall. I personally prefer not to do that. I do them all together at the same time. Sometimes there's reasons for doing this, and we had a reason to do it this particular day. But for me, it's just put the glue down and just everyone just set the cap directly on the wall. You have to adjust them in real time because that glue does set up, especially like on a hot day. It'll set up in like 20 minutes. If it's cooler out, the glue will take a while. You can kind of see right here the glue's PL Loctite brand. I prefer this over, I've tried the Alliance stuff and even the Loctite Landscaper, and it's for masonry and stuff. I hate that stuff. It's like bubble gum. I've had so many problems with it popping off. This stuff here has lasted. You're going to get it probably at least 10 years before you start having stuff pop off. It's by far my favorite. And I think we're going to be wrapping stuff up. Yep. All right. We'll catch you on the next one.